Hi guys, this is Rusty78609. This is going to be a short video, but I just felt compelled to do it because I had a gentleman come by today to do some repair, well, not do some repairs. He's improving my electrical situation, I guess you'd say, because the cable I have now just runs on top of the ground. Anyway, it's a mess. Anyway, he came by today and he accidentally, using a trenching machine, he accidentally cut into the water line, which, you know, caused a little mess. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about that. But what it made me think, I mean, I watched him. I mean, I went out there, you know, he had to go into town to get a connector of some kind to repair the water leak, and I went out there and dug around and got the PVC water line clear, so all we had to do was just cut it and put this thing on there and go pretty quick. But while I was doing that and while he was gone, it occurred to me that you know, I mean, here I you know, sticking my hands down there in the old muddy water and getting mud all over my clothes and my shoes and stuff, and it occurred to me that people do that every day. Okay, I mean, they do it every day for a living, and they've done it for 40 years, 40 years. This guy here is 73 years old, and he's still operating that trenching machine and putting in that conduit, setting that electrical, and that's what makes the world work, guys. We forget about those people. All right, I'm not going to say I do. I mean, I'm aware of them all the time because I see them. But, you know, they're probably the unsung heroes of the universe because, you know, thanks to all the blue collar, I guess you'd call them, who cares if they've even got a collar? I don't have a collar on now. This is a Gildan t-shirt, and but be that as it may, you know, they're out there every day, man. Think about out there in temperatures close to zero or even any freezing temperature, wind blowing or snowing or whatever, and they got to go out and repair a water leak or a electrical problem or, you know, something else. They got all kind of things come up, and you know, these people are out there doing that. I mean, you know, and I looked at this old boy's hands, and you can always tell a working man by his hands. You know, if he's been working with his hands all his life, they're not, the fingernails are not perfectly trimmed, and the old fingers are not little skinny white things sticking out. Mine are about average, but no, some of these people out there, their hands are not hands, are like paws. You know what I mean? You know, all calluses and all that stuff, and you know, bruises and, you know, whatever, you know, knots all over, whatever. But, you know, and also when he was doing some work around, I noticed that he had a little emphysema. You know, he was having a hard time breathing. You know, he's like me. I'm 73. Once you get down, it's hard to get up. Well, he's doing this pretty routinely, and there's still people out there doing that. And I remember years ago when I was a chief financial officer at a business and had about 5 other companies, whatever we had, I can't remember, several. And we were going to have a big building built to install this new, quote, printing press that cost $2 million, and it was very heavy. And it had to be 2 stories. You had part of it on the top floor, part of it on the second floor. So we hired, you know, of course, you had to get a contractor in, you had to get engineers in, you had to get an architect in. And I remember we were having meetings as this thing was proceeding. And I remember the contractor. He got, you know, after, you know, we pretty well settled on, you know, which direction we were going to head and the cost and so forth, he stood up and he said, you know, guys, we pay these engineers and architects hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to give us a set of plans, and then we go out and build it. And we build it using people that make $10, well, back then $5 an hour to do it. And they're the people that do it. You know, they're the people that are out there with the welders, the welding machine and all that stuff, and they're in the risky positions and, you know, getting this stuff in their lungs that nobody even knew about then. And they may have known about it, but they didn't say a word about it. But, you know, so all these guys, and I'm sure women too. I mean, I'm not just singling out men, women, whoever's out there in the field doing this stuff. I don't care what sex they are. But, you know, they're exposed to all sort of hazards, you know, and their lifespan's about probably 30% less than the average lifespan. Why? Well, because, you know, you can't live long with emphysema, okay? I mean, you know, and you know, you're going to have a lot of health issues if you've been working your body really hard for 30 or 40 years, your chances of not having knee problems, back problems, neck problems, and other physical problems are going to be very slim. But what I wanted to do is just give a shout out to all you guys and ladies, whatever, that are out there in the field every day. And I think about that. I mean, my son works for a company, they build highways and other things, bridges and stuff. And they got laborers out there that are, moving that asphalt here in Texas when it's 105 degrees or more, and where they are it's probably 130, and they're breathing those fumes. And they do that every day. Why do they do it every day? Because they got to make a living, okay? They got to survive. Survival ain't easy. But, and then you got guys, that are digging ditches and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? The real laborer, you know what I mean, that gets his hands dirty, gets his body dirty, stinks, you know what I mean? And, I just want to give a shout out to them. And next time whenever you're driving around your community and you see some road crew or even a city maintenance crew, and in your mind you're saying, boy, look at that. There's one guy working and 4 guys standing there. That's your first thought, right? Well, why don't you go over there and join them, all right? And you get down there in that damn hole for about 4 hours in 105-degree heat or 0 temperature and see what you do. They're not loafing. They're human beings just like you and me. But anyway, I just wanted to do this video because, I noticed it. It really hit me hard, man. It really hit me hard because here's this guy, 73 years old, got a little emphysema, and I'm kneeling there right with him, getting our hands muddy down there, getting that pipe cleared out so we could, it's PVC. You have to cut off both ends and put a deal in between to splice that leak. And, it just hit me, man. It just hit me real hard. But for those of you that see those people now, give them a shout out. Say, hey, man, good job. How about that? Anyway, adios, amigos. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios. Use the link to Amazon products if you want to. If you don't want to fool with it, don't. And what else? Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, keep your health every way you can, because without it, you're miserable. You know what I mean? And and this is not a negative video. This is just an honest, straightforward, the way I feel at this moment video. And I'll do these videos occasionally because whenever I get inspired by something like I witnessed today, this guy and me, anyway, enough said about that. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. It is a nice day here in Central Texas, and use the Amazon link, drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, and whatever, think positive. I'm thinking positive, but it's not a negative thought to tell you or to suggest. Be aware of these working people, man. Notice them. They're not ants. They're not bugs. They're not to be run over in your car when they're standing there with a sign that says stop and you're in a hurry to get to work and it's a construction crew. It's not their fault. They're doing a job, man. That's all. But anyway, adios, amigos. Enjoy your life. Bye-bye.